possible. As you have seen during the past week, President Trump is hard at work fulfilling the promises that he made to the American people on the campaign trail. Since taking the oath of office, President Trump has taken more than 300 executive actions, secured nearly $1 trillion in U.S. investments, deported illegal alien rapists, gang members, and suspected terrorists from our homeland, and restored common sense to the federal government.
He restored common sense to the federal government. And who say this not the best president of our lifetime? We're going to get to Trump practically being praised for all the things he did in the last 7 years. And most likely he's going to get praised for the things that he's going to do in the next 7 days. So be prepared. Trump, MAGA. Let's go. Like and subscribe.
I'm going to take a moment to go through some of these extraordinary actions. On day one, President Trump declared a national emergency at our southern border to end the 4-year-long invasion of illegal aliens under the previous administration. Additionally, President Trump signed an executive order to end catch and release and finish construction of his effective border wall. By using every lever of his federal power, President Trump has sent a loud and clear message to the entire world. America will no longer tolerate illegal immigration, and this president expects that every nation on this planet will cooperate with the repatriation of their citizens.
Of course the world has to cooperate because the world does it themselves. The world does it themselves. I can't go to France and think I'm going to live like a normal citizen without watching out for my back. I can't go to Australia and just get on a boat and just go on these shores and just start living regular life, going to the coffee shop, going to wash my clothes, and don't think nobody's going to bust through a door to come get me. Illegal migration is illegal. That's why it's called illegal migration. This is just common sense. Migration is one thing. My mother, my father, they all migrated here. They came through, tons of money, paperwork, this, that. You know, I had to go through the struggles of getting a driver's license and, you know, the working permit. You know, people that are here from another country and actually are successful to be very proud of themselves, especially if they did it the right way. But if you do it the wrong way, if you do it the legal way, then you can't be mad if justice comes for you.
As proven by this weekend, when President Trump swiftly directed his team to issue harsh and effective sanctions and tariffs on the Colombian government, upon hearing they were denied a U.S. military aircraft full of their own citizens who were deported by this administration. Within hours, the Colombian government agreed to all of President Trump's demands, proving America is once again respected on the world stage. So, to foreign nationals who are thinking about trying to illegally enter the United States, think again. Under this president, you will be detained and you will be deported.
Yo, did y'all hear what she just said? Trump had a cargo plane filled of Colombian illegals and send it back to Colombia. The president of Colombia said, nah, we're not accepting none of these people. We're not doing it. We're standing up. We're liberal. He, she, it, them. He, she, it, them. We're standing up and we're going to fight you, Trump. We're going to fight you with tooth and nail. These Colombians are not going to put one pinky toe on this Colombian soil. And I swear, over my dead body. While Trump playing golf, Trump said, okay, no problem. 24 hours later, the Colombian president's like, hey, Trump, how you doing, man? Hey, I'm sorry about that, man. You know I'll be drinking that Colombian rum. I was just a little tipsy earlier. Of course I'll accept those migrants. Trump, bring that cargo plane back here. Don't worry, I got the gas. Don't worry. How much is the gas? Is $100,000? Trump was like, well, don't forget about those tariffs. The Colombian president was like, I got the gas. Don't worry about that. Bring my people back here. I got it from here, Trump.
Every day, Americans are safer because of the violent criminals that President Trump's administration is removing from our communities. On January 23rd, ICE New York arrested a Turkish national for entry without inspection who is a known or suspected terrorist. On January 23rd, ICE San Francisco arrested a citizen of Mexico unlawfully present in the United States who has been convicted of continuous sexual abuse of a child aged 14 years or younger.
Imagine that. Imagine how many of them are walking around and your kids are seeing them every day. Especially for your parents that you got your kids walking home from school or to school by themselves. Just imagine. Imagine the people that are following them, legal or illegal, because you got to remember, we still got legal people who are here who are citizens that's committing crimes, and we got to worry about them. The police force have to worry about them. It takes tax money to fight the citizens that's committing crime. Now you're going to add on another 700 something million, 700 million without, and it's not even, these people are not even included in the census. So there's no budgeting for them, because that's what the census is. They do a census to know how much budget a city needs by knowing the population. You just got an extra 2-3 million people into your tax budget. What's that gonna do? What's that gonna do? Think about it. That's why they say Trump is bringing common sense back, because even the question that I just asked y'all, this is a common sense question.
ICE St. Paul has arrested a citizen of Honduras who was convicted of 4th-degree criminal sexual conduct with a minor. ICE Buffalo arrested a citizen of Ecuador who has been convicted of rape. ICE Boston arrested a citizen of the Dominican Republic who has a criminal conviction for 2nd-degree murder. This criminal was convicted of murder for beating his pregnant wife to death in front of her 5-year-old son. And ICE St. Paul also arrested a citizen.
You got the Dominicans over here wilding. They even got the Dominicans over here wilding. Man, let me tell you, man. If I lived on an island with a bunch of beautiful women and I commit a crime and I don't get caught, I ain't leaving. I'm staying right there. But yeah, police have to be. I would definitely, if I get a president like Biden and I hear a country is letting people in, I'll be the first one there. I'll have 3 bodies on me trying to go to USA. It only makes sense. Why would I stay in my country when they're looking for me? I actually have documentation. They know my name. I actually have a number that they could trace me. They have a fingerprint. They could follow me. I have paperwork. I got birth records. I got this. I got that. Why? When I could just go to the greatest country, I could go to the greatest country. Why? When I could go to the greatest country on earth, make way more money doing the least job compared to the Dominican Republic. And I got more freedom. I could walk the streets, do whatever I want. As long as I don't commit no crazy crime, I'm practically free. I could roam the streets and do whatever I want. Who won it? You know how many murderers are walking around? Who won it? It's only common sense.
Of Mexico who was convicted of possessing pornographic material of a minor on a work computer. These are the heinous individuals that this administration is removing from American communities every single day, and to the brave state and local law enforcement officers, CBP, and ICE agents who are helping in the facilitation of this deportation operation, President Trump has your back, and he is grateful for your hard work. On the economic front, President Trump took immediate action to lower costs for families who are suffering from 4 long years of the Biden administration's destructive and inflationary policies. President Trump ordered the heads of all executive departments and agencies to help deliver emergency price relief to the American people, untangle our economy from Biden's regulatory constraints, and end the reckless war on American energy. President Trump also signed sweeping executive orders to end the weaponization of government and restore common sense to the federal bureaucracy. He directed all federal agencies to terminate illegal diversity, equity, and inclusion programs to help return America to a merit-based society. President Trump also signed an executive order declaring it is now the policy of the federal government that there are only 2 sexes, male and female. Sanity has been restored.
I mean, come on. Come on. Putin right now is listening to this like, he just putting his head down shaking like, do you really need to make an executive order? You really need to make an executive order. Where are we as a society? Are we stupid? Are we been drinking stupid juice? Have you been drinking that stupid juice? How we have to make an executive order just to figure out if somebody's a male or a female? How we have to make an executive order to let people know that there's 2 genders? This is chaos. And this is what you want your kids to grow up in? This confusion? This confusion on the cartoons? This confusion in our movies? This confusion in our church? These kids nowadays don't even know what a man's supposed to really be. They growing up with he-she's. Talking about, you washing those dishes. They growing with a he-she's. They don't even know how to mow the lawn. Everybody want to hire a crew for their lawn. Even if they live in a piece of shitty-ass lot. That's the size of a closet. Go get your boy to go out there and cut that lawn. Everybody want to hire a snowman. Go out there and tell your son to go pick that snow up. They inside playing Call of Duty all day. And looking at tatas on TikTok. That's it.
Before I take your questions, I would like to point out to all of you once again have access to the most transparent and accessible president in American history. There has never been a president who communicates with the American people and the American press corps as openly and authentically as the 45th and now 47th president of the United States. This past week, President Trump has held multiple news conferences, gaggled on Air Force One multiple times, and sat down for a 2-part interview on Fox News, which aired last week. As Politico summed it up best, Trump is everywhere again. And that's because President Trump has a great story to tell about the legendary American revival that is well underway. And in keeping with this revolutionary media approach that President Trump deployed during the campaign, the Trump White House will speak to all.
She not lying. I don't know what's wrong with Democrats. They like somebody that don't even talk to them. They like somebody that don't. Half of them are going through so many mental issues, they don't even know who they are. They don't even know if they're a cat or a dog. They don't even know if they're a cat or a dog. They all confused. They don't like to hear the truth. So they rather somebody as president that they don't even see. They don't want to be reminded of their horrible and filthy and depressing lives. A lot of them are so old. They on antipsychotics. They on anti-anxiety medication, Clonopin. They going to the hospital for no reason, faking that they got all type of pains. when all the pains is really somatic. They come to the ED, all they want is dilaudid. This society that we live in, we live in a society of bums. We live in a society of bums. And the next generation are growing up to be bums. And the whole point of the MAGA having a Republican idealism, which is separate from MAGA. It's similar in a sense, but MAGA's a movement. Republican idealism been around since the beginning when the first black people in Congress established it. When the first blacks established it and the first whites. So you got to know when to shut up. You got to know when to pick a side. Because the side that you on, that left side is called the left side for a reason. Because it's not right.
All media outlets and personalities, not just the legacy media who are seated in this room. Because according to recent polling from Gallup, Americans' trust in mass media has fallen to a record low. Millions of Americans, especially young people, have turned from traditional television outlets and newspapers to consume their news from podcasts, blogs, social media, and other independent outlets. It's essential to our team that we share President Trump's message everywhere and adapt this White House to the new media landscape in 2025. To do this, I am excited.
Okay, here we go. Y'all know what's about to happen? Trump is going to make it more official for people of Congress, presidents all over the world, presidents here in the United States, senators. They're going to make it a norm to go to a podcast to give out information. They're going to make it a norm to go on a random YouTube show, Spotify show, and to make it part of the media landscape. And this right here for those who are listening, who are not in this business. Even if you're making $20 a month in YouTube, don't quit. Don't quit. We are the founders. And there was way more better and more original father founders before us. Praise to them. Hassan Campbell and all those guys, Joe Buttons and all of them. But I say that to say this. It's going to be a very lucrative industry. Very, very lucrative.
To announce the following changes will be made to this historic James S. Brady briefing room, where Mr. Brady's legacy will endure. This White House believes strongly in the First Amendment, so it's why our team will work diligently to restore the press passes of the 440 journalists whose passes were wrongly revoked by the previous administration. This briefing room to new media voices who produce news-related content and whose outlet is not already represented by one of the seats in this room. We welcome independent journalists, podcasters, social media influencers, and content creators to apply for credentials to cover this White House. And you can apply now on our new website, whitehouse.gov/newmedia. Starting today, this seat in the front of the room, which is usually occupied by the press secretary's staff, will be called the new media seat. My team will review the applications and give credentials to new media applicants who meet our criteria and pass United States Secret Service requirements to enter the White House complex. So in light of these announcements, our first questions for today's briefing will go to these new media members whose outlets, despite being some of the most viewed news websites in the country, have not been given seats in this room. And before I turn to questions,
Despite being the most viewed in the country, there are YouTube channels that generate They generate millions and millions and millions of views every day. They're content creators like Anton Daniels, the twins, Officer Tate, you know, and of course the great. Everybody know who that is. Everybody know who that is. Come on. The great Spotify. Come on. I don't even have to say his name. We finally being recognized. Finally.
Have news directly from the President of the United States that was just shared with me in the Oval Office. From President Trump directly, an update on the New Jersey drones. After research and study, the drones that were flying over New Jersey in large numbers were authorized to be flown by the FAA for research and various other reasons. Many of these drones were also hobbyists, recreational, and private individuals that enjoy flying drones. In time, it got worse due to curiosity. This was not the enemy. A statement from the President of the United States to start this briefing with some news. And with that, I will turn it over to questions. And we will begin with our new media members, Mike Allen from Axios, Matt Boyle from Breitbart. Mike, why don't you go ahead?
The drones in New Jersey was research. I knew it. There's no way drones is going to be flying around, la 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 la, la 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 la, and not be part of the government. And not be here for some type of interaction of some type of research. Something. Come on, I had a drone by my window. A big one. It looked like a spaceship. You think an average person is going to own that? These was private companies. And you heard what she say, private individuals. Some of them probably had, these are private individuals. I think she mean more private companies, not no regular Smo Joe in his garage building a drone. Because if you've seen the drones over New Jersey, it was well built. These are not like you go to Toys R Us and go get a drone type of drone. You know what I mean? But let's see what she got to say, because now this is the first time the White House invited social media content creators and actually allowing them to ask questions. Let's go.
Thank you very much. Caroline, does the president see anything fishy about DeepSeek, either its origins or its cost? And could China's ability to make these models quicker, cheaper, affect our thinking about expanding generation data centers, chip manufacturing?
Sure. The president was asked about DeepSeek last night on Air Force One when he gaggled for, I think, the third or fourth time throughout the weekend with members of the traveling press corps. The president said that he believes that this is a wake-up call to the American AI industry. The last administration sat on their hands and allowed China to rapidly develop this AI program. And so President Trump believes in restoring American AI dominance. And that's why he took very strong executive action this past week to sign executive orders to roll back some of the onerous regulations on the AI industry. And President Trump has also proudly appointed the first AI and crypto czar at this White House, David Sachs, whom I spoke with yesterday, very knowledgeable on this subject, and his team is here working every single day to ensure American AI dominance. As for the national security implications, I spoke with NSC this morning. They are...
I didn't even know he had a crypto czar. I didn't even know he had a crypto czar. Man, if y'all is not in crypto, I don't know. Y'all watch, what's his name? I used to watch him all the time with the colorful beard. Mr. Gargoyle. Is that his name? Mr. Gargoyle? With a colorful beard. Remember he used to live in LA? Yeah, he came up with crypto. He came up with crypto. Brought his life up. Started a channel. Started to market himself. He gained a big follow because he had a lot of haters. And he's still doing good to this day. He moved to Miami. He got his little podcast going on. Well, not little podcast. I mean, his situation doing way better than mine. But it's not about who's doing better. It's about who's still here. who's still in the fight. It's about who didn't give up. It's about who didn't give up.
We're looking into what those may be, and when I have an update, I will share it with you, Mike.
Carolyn, you say restore U.S. dominance. Is there a fear that the U.S. either is falling or has fallen behind? And how would the president make sure the U.S. stays ahead?
The president is confident that we will restore American dominance in AI.
Yeah, so Caroline, first off, thank you to you and President Trump for actually giving voices to new media outlets that represent millions and millions of Americans. The thing I would add, I've got a two-part question for you. The first is just can you expand upon what steps the White House is going to take to bring more voices, not less, which is what our founder Andrew Breitbart believed in, into this room where they rightfully belong?
Yeah. Absolutely. And as I said in my opening statement, Matt, it is a priority of this White House to honor the First Amendment. And it is a fact that Americans are consuming their news media from various different platforms, especially young people. And as the youngest press secretary in history, thanks to President Trump, I take great pride in opening up this room to new media voices to share the president's message with as many Americans as possible. In doing so, number one, we will ensure that outlets like yours, Axios and Breitbart, which are widely respected and viewed outlets, have an actual seat in this room every day. We also, again, encourage anybody in this country, whether you are a TikTok content creator, a blogger, a podcaster, if you are producing legitimate news content, no matter the medium, you will be allowed to apply for press credentials to this White House. And as I said earlier, our new media website is whitehouse.gov/new media. And so we encourage people to apply. Again, as long as you are creating news-related content of the day and you're a legitimate independent journalist, you're welcome to cover this White House.
And secondly, Caroline, you said you laid out several of the actions that President Trump has taken. That obviously it's a stark contrast to the previous administration, a breakneck speed from President Trump. Can we expect that pace to continue as the first 100 days moves along here and beyond that?
Absolutely. There is no doubt President Trump has always been the hardest working man in politics. I think that's been proven over the past week. This president has again signed more than 300 executive orders. He's taken historic...
The hardest working man in politics? Man, that's a misunderstatement. This man is the hardest working president of, I don't even know, like, of the world. Who you know worked this hard in 7 days? Who you know go on a campaign trail and literally go to 5 to 6 states in one day? And not only does he talk for hours and hours, but he talks straight from the dome. He got little notes, I'm sure, little hints or whatever, the topic will be. But he's not talking from a teleprompter. Donald Trump is talking to you. He's giving you him, the real him. For years, people complain about politicians being liars. Then when you have a politician that's not really a traditional politician, he's already rich, already got his own company. He didn't go to school in political science and, he's trying to move his family up and, become a senator, then become a governor. This is not his career. He's doing this for the people. He's doing this for him. He's doing this because he loves America.
Daddy, why the world is so crazy?